It is open, my friends, while toils have yet to begin. Laughter we had in gales and floods, but if not, at least there will be blood. The sorrow and loss may abound. We'll do our best to hold this hallowed ground.
Welcome back to Nightbane. Can you figure out what that secret message was? Anyway, we are on the peninsula, and we are in a category. I don't know what that category is. The peninsula is not as abandoned as we thought it was. There are spheres floating all over the place, drones, ley lines. I found the document. It was in the old players folder. And it is a doubling.
Yay!
So, we are trying to figure out what we're going to do. So, Silas says, yeah, at the ley line, which is close enough of where we are right now, the range, duration, everything basically for your ability is doubled. So, given that and what Millie said before, that would mean she could take one person to those buildings you were talking about, Ox. I'd still have enough to be able to return later on. So,
But it'd be only one person.
but still only one person. It's not enough for both of you to go. Actually.
Bless you.
Yeah. Sorry. That's you. Silas says, I think if we wait there long enough, you should be able to recover naturally from being at a ley line to be able to return if you take us all. Because your PPE natural regeneration is also increased at a ley line.
Okay, so they can take all three of us? All three of us can go?
Yes, it will be cutting it very close,
Okay.
time-wise, to get all three of you to that spot, to a building. And then they will have to be there for at least, let's say, 8 hours in order to get enough PPE back to go back.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Let's do it.
Okay. Silas says her shroud. Does Millie's shroud do sound as well? Let me look at the shroud real fast. The shroud. And noiseless. Okay. Good. If we start on our way and it looks like they notice, I'll say something and we'll just head back right away. I mean, head back to the building. We can't go back any farther, or do you want to just continue if they notice?
I mean, if they notice, they already notice. So, and if they notice, they know that we're invisible and flying. So, I don't think being stuck in a warehouse would help us that much unless they view where we're going as a threat. Oh, we're not flying. Okay.
Millie can't carry two.
Okay. Well,
you can run along the ground really fast.
yeah, so that would
That's
only
just
matter if they view us as a threat by going in that direction. If they notice, let's cut towards, I think that's towards the ocean, which should be at a perpendicular angle-ish to the route we're taking, and maybe they'll stop thinking we're a threat if we do that. So, but one step at a time.
Okay. You prep yourself. You get by the door. Everyone gets ready. Millie join the hands with everybody. Shrouds. You open the door and you start making a run for it. I need D100 rolls from everybody.
Well, I think it's good. I roll a 4.
Okay. Lawrence?
He's not there.
Everybody.
Oh, I'm not there. Oh,
Is it- Oh, yeah. Sorry.
yeah.
I don't know,
It's
taking
like, wait, I'm
notes
still
here.
rolling. Oh, brother. Ah,
Yeah, why
what's going
not?
on? I
Lawrence,
can't.
roll.
Ah!
Here's this for a fully different reason.
61.
61. Okay. That makes sense. Anyway. Well, you run. You get over to one of those buildings. Really doesn't matter. They look like they were set up as temporary housing for workers, but they have been abandoned. And you get over there, you get inside one, get to cover. Just as the shroud goes out, and Silas says they never took any notice. I'm
Excellent.
starting to think that the shroud definitely is protecting us.
Well, that's excellent news.
Millie is out of PPE at the moment.
Okay. We will get. I mean, it's the middle of the night, so 12, 10, or however long it took us to get here.
Given
So-
everything, figuring things out, the sketching of the flying robots, the who's making, we'll say it's 12:30ish.
Okay, cool. I don't know what kind of security this here place has.
None.
Cool. Well, we will softly break in and.
Oh, you're already inside.
Okay, great. And
The buildings are very abandoned.
oh, they're abandoned.
They are abandoned buildings.
Oh,
No longer in use. Most of the doors, windows are missing.
we're looking at the same buildings.
Yes, I am taking DM license.
Cool, love it. And so we'll set up in front of some windows that look at the silo, and wait. Especially Silas will have the best view, so you can get his true eyes on.
Okay. Yes, I know there are lots of places on this little strip of land that look like they might be populated. I have gone ahead and said that none of them are populated. This is an abandoned strip of land. Well, you get there, Silas watches for a while. Unfortunately, he cannot keep his true sight up, even at a ley line, forever. It is a PPE drain.
Do we know what time I noticed a change when I was here?
I do not have it in my notes as to what time. I think it was probably around noonish, we'll say.
I think that was right. Okay, so I'll let him know to keep some or store some PPE for that time period, especially.
Oh, he says, yeah, that's not a problem. He regenerates very fast here. He also can draw from the ley line carefully.
Nice.
So he can get his PPE back pretty quickly. Like within an hour, he can be fully recharged. It's just he can't keep the sea truth up constantly yet. But he says there's definitely, he could see the difference. When he doesn't have the sea truth up, it looks like abandoned silo, no activity. You're a little far ways away, but you can barely hear that hum. But he says that it's definitely the hum is coming from the ley line being rerouted to that silo, and it's fighting it. It doesn't want to be rerouted to that silo. So that's why there's that distress. That's what the hum is coming from. He said probably whatever that ley line is powering, when you heard the hum go louder last time, is probably when they actually drew a lot of power. But beyond that, without the sea truth up, nothing is happening. You look at it and it looks like what it did before. It looks like nothing's going on, nothing's happening. With the sea truth up, he said there's a lot of activity. The drones are up and running all over the place, running around. They seem to be going off towards town a lot. I mean, they're in different groups. There's definitely groups, maybe 30 or so, that are just patrolling this area. They're patrolling this island, little strip of land, just keeping an eye out for things. And then there's always groups coming and going towards the land. Looks like they're keeping an eye on the town too. But they are definitely cloaked somehow.
I do wonder if they were there the last time we were here. We just didn't have a way to see them.
That is a good question. I mean, if they were here last time, they had to have seen you move.
Yeah, and either they were there and they didn't care that we were staking out the silo, or they weren't there.
Yeah.
Seemingly.
I don't know. I mean, since I wasn't here before.
Millie,
as much as they are,
what do you think?
She couldn't see before. I mean, she couldn't see him there either.
Right.
And she was flying around. As many as there are, talking it over with Silas and their patterns and everything, and the fact that Millie flew over and flew back, they're leaning on that they weren't here. Otherwise, she would have ran into them, even being invisible, unless they avoided her, which, again, she was shrouded. They wouldn't have seen her, so they couldn't avoid her. So she just would have ran right into him. And that didn't happen. So they're leaning towards the fact that they probably weren't here before.
Yeah, makes sense.
And as much as they are watching this strip of land, as much force, if you want to use the word, manpower that they are using, it's not just a couple here and there. They are patterned everywhere, a good 30 of them watching this land, our little island, I would err on the caution of that if we went out there unshrouded, we would probably get attention.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Eyes out.
Okay. Let's see here. It is a roll of whether or not they do something, and what do you know? Around noon. I need perception rolls from everybody. Silas, of course, has See Truth up and rolled a natural 20.
Good. Because
Wow.
once again, I got a 9. So.
Yeah, really didn't roll very well either, but your guys' roll, since you can't see the invisible, you can't see ley lines, you're just going to notice the same thing you noticed before. Around noonish, that hum increases, though remember your distance is farther away, so it's very light. But you can tell a change in the hum. And your other perception roll is you're watching Silas. And a 9's good enough for that. This all happens. This all occurs. Silas saved time and has the See Truth up. Is watching the silo closely. Is watching the ley line, and all of a sudden he turns around and goes, "We got to get out of here. We just got to get out of here. We got to get out of here." Whatever they did, they drew enough power that the ley line actually vanished for a second or two.
Whoa. Well, we can't leave, so no need to do that.
It actually blinked out of existence. They drew so much power. And it's got to be a portal or a rift. That's the only thing I know that would use that much power. They are bringing something in. Nothing left the building during this time. Though I would say maybe 30 drones that were out on patrol, not on island patrol, but out on the city patrol, came back and stationed themselves around the silo in a protective measure when this happened. And then they went back out to the city.
Okay.
I don't like being here, Silas says. Whoever they are, whatever they are, I've never even heard or known of a magic user that could draw enough power from a ley line that would diminish the ley line, let alone change the flow of the ley line. That is the amount of power. I mean, take every nuclear reactor on the planet. That's how much power they're pulling.
It's a fair amount.
But in a magic sense.
Mm-hmm. Anything else? Are you able to see inside the silo?
No. No, can't see through walls. The silo is definitely made out of the same kind of material that Lawrence's little square is made out of. The inside of the silo. But through that I can't see. Let's see here. Shadow slide. Just looking over his spells and talents. See if there's any other way he has of sense magic, which he used. Something powerful is going on in there. I mean, beyond powerful. He doesn't have a word for it. Whatever, the magic draw on that was just unbelievable. If you use PPE for your talents and stuff, right? So you kind of have a feel for magic, roughly. GM to player, I'm saying, you know, numbers for how much it costs to do things.
Sure. I've not used mine really at all.
What they
so.
just did was 100 billion PPE.
It's a fair amount. Fair amount.
At least. Maybe more.
Oh boy. That seems okay. It seems fine.
Yeah,
Nothing
totally
wrong
fine.
there.
Totally fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just another tool for us to use.
Natural occurrence, really. I mean, I'm sure they're just here to study it, not actually causing it.
Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. So.
Beyond that
Yeah.
moment, nothing else is going to happen today. Outside of patrols. A lot of times where Sailor says everyone hide because they do their little window inspection on the building you're at. Or at that time, Millie's able to shot everyone for a quick minute or two, so that there's no chance whatsoever that they can see you. Anything else you wish to accomplish before you go back?
Can't think of anything. Is there any water around in the building?
Running? No.
It doesn't need to be running, just so I have access to it.
Roll me percentage.
81.
No.
Okay, fair enough. Then I don't have anything to be doing, and I will patiently wait as a tree.
Yep. Switching gears before we head back, Lawrence for the day, for the 24-hour period.
I've been studying that language.
Okay, couple of things. I will let you write down the language skill mechanoid
Ooh.
at 10%. Because I have established it already, so you might as well have it.
Delightful.
And the other thing you have found out, or figured out with your piece of metal, you don't know how it occurred, but in gaming mechanics, you are bonded. When you hold it, you have figured out that you can turn it on and off by will alone.
Huh.
You don't need to force turn it on by giving it PPE. Now, when it's on, it does draw. So if you leave it on too long, you will drain yourself. But it now draws automatically. The trickle.
guy will just hold this device and turn it on accidentally. Stare at it. How did I do that?
And it turns off.
Oh,
And then it turns on. It's following your subconscious in the way Lawrence is. It's going to be flashing on and off for a while. Oh, it's no. Well, I don't want it on. I would have put it on. I don't want it on. And eventually, you realize you are controlling it.
it's like, oh, hey, that's me. Cool. Okay, well, that's terribly handy. Notifications or anything, but that'll make this a lot easier.
Beyond that, you study the language.
Nice.
Anything else you wish to accomplish today?
That is it. Other than paying attention to the QB thingy, he's just studying the language.
And just so that it's known reference, at around noonish, nothing out of the ordinary happens with the piece of metal.
Okay.
Okay then. A little bit before midnight, you guys gather up. You make your run back over to the building. Shrouded. Perception rolls just because.
We probably give it a little bit extra time. We'll probably leave our building more around like 11.
Okay.
Just to assure we have enough time to get there and to even with issues because we do not want to be here extra.
No, you don't. You really, really, really don't want to be here extra.
Shh.
Tell me what you really, really want to know.
Well, I'll tell you what I want. What I want.
Perception rolls.
I want a pastry.
Mm.
Man,
Something
I'm just
cinnamon-based.
useless on the perception rolls. 5.
Well, again, being able to perceive these drones is impossible for you. But what you're perceiving is Silas's reactions to watching the drones. He tenses up a little bit when you get close to the building, but he still proceeds. He tells you guys, hold it, wait for it. You get close to the door, he's like, wait. There's a lot of patrols right now around this building, but he watches them. He says it doesn't look like they're searching. It's just this is the time for the patrols. The enhanced patrols around this object, like he sees with every other building. Which would make sense because when you got here, there was just the ending of the enhanced patrol around this object. And he's hoping, he's looking at Millie, hoping that the shroud doesn't go off while he's standing in the middle of this open parking lot. And then he goes, okay, go. And luckily the dice are in your favor. You roll, you get inside, and close the door, and the shroud fails.
Cool.
And then at midnight, the mirror changes, and you guys can go home.
We go home.
We go home.
What? I thought you wanted to invite them over for a party.
Not this time.
No? Okay.
Okay. You get back in the mirror tent. Of course, the twins are there. Isabella's there. She's like, so, how'd it go? Learn anything new?
Well, I'm gonna leave this to Silas to present.
How big of a percent is this? Do we need the group? Gather the group? More mind powers? Or is this just a little update,
I mean, we should talk soon. So, but the more the better that are here. Well, we shouldn't wait on anyone.
You want Lawrence here?
Yeah.
Okay. Around midnight, somebody will come and get you, Lawrence, saying Ox and Silas and Millie are back, and they are requesting your presence for a debrief
Lawrence looks at
at
his
the mirror tent.
make-believe watch. That's not ready? Oh, right. I don't have a watch.
The
Okay.
little thing comes on, displays the time, turns off.
That's gonna get creepy. So cool, though. He's gonna head to the mirror tent.
Okay. When you get there, and a few other people, we'll say the senior resistance members, which means it's practically about everyone, but everyone is there. But at least everybody's there. Silas goes into what you guys saw, the fact that there are lots of mechanical drones in the area. Can't get an exact count of numbers because they all look the same. Shows a sketch to everybody. Lawrence shows the sketch
Ooh,
to
shiny.
everybody. Says, well over 50, maybe over 100 of these things. 30 of them probably dedicated to island or that little inland protection. The rest are floating around scouting the town. Probably, if that vampire place is of importance to them, they're watching that place as well. But they are cloaked somehow. Only my Sea Truth is able to see them. He did add, my See Invisible spell cannot see them. Only my See Truth talent could see them. We did establish that we believe the shroud, Millie's shroud, does prevent them from seeing us when we're there. They are actively tapping the ley line there and powering whatever in the silo from the ley line, so much so that the ley line has formed an alternate branch off of the ley line to the silo. Is putting a lot of stress or distress noise on the ley line. And then at approximately noon, they activated something in the silo which drew so much power from the ley line that it actually made the ley line disappear for a couple of seconds. And roughly I equate that to about 100 billion PPE usage draw for one thing, whatever that thing is inside the silo. The only thing that I know that could even come close to that type of power usage is a rift or a portal. But rifts and portals that I know don't even require that much power. So beyond that, I don't know what they're doing in there. Can't see into the silo. To the naked eye, the place looks the same way Ox described it before. We do not think that these drones were there when Ox was there before, or Millie was there before. That's the update. Questions? Isabella is definitely shaken by the ley line thing. She definitely says in 1,000 years, I've never seen anything draw that much power. Or even come close to that much power. Without causing a rift itself.
Yeah. Lots of good things.
Whoever they are, they're very powerful.
And they got resources.
Lots.
Mm-hmm.
Isabella will ask you, Lawrence, approximately around noonish, did anything unusual happen with your piece of metal?
No. Other than the fact that it seems to be attuned to me now.
Attuned to you.
I can will it on and off. Don't have to, like, force it on. I think I was
Interesting.
accidentally breaking into its software technically beforehand, in a matter of speaking. Now it just does it for me.
Well, that's convenient. Any idea yet if it's tracking you?
Nope. Not yet. I think I understand the language barely enough to be able to kind of dig into it a little more and try to figure that out, but I would need to have it on for consecutive moments. Longer than what I have been doing, which is not even a second at a time.
Okay. Well, when you turn it on, make sure you're not in camp.
Yep.
So what are our next steps? What do you think we should be doing now? Getting there and watching them play with the vampires may be a problem.
I think we got enough from that one. Silas and his wonderful skills. Whew. Nope.
I think we need to take a calculated risk on this one and assume these individuals are not opposed to us. And whenever we get the time for this vampire assault, we should be present as an possible envoy type of situation. See if we can talk to him.
Lawrence is volunteering for that. Okay.
Nope. I'm not.
Oh, it looked
I
like
am
you were about to speak.
not a
Yeah, I mean,
talker.
I am also not a talker, but it was my idea, so I will gladly volunteer as tribute, as it were.
Question.
Yes.
When you were there before,
Mhm.
every time that you were in a possibility where you were perceived by the drones, you were shrouded, correct?
Mhm.
And at
I
no
think
time did
we
you
believe that's the case, yes.
try and see what would happen if you presented yourself without
Mhm.
the shroud to one of them.
True.
Maybe that should be your first step. Because, I mean, if you want to take risks, this is all risks. But if you were to go there, say, step outside, not shrouded, see if they take notice of you and what do they do, that would give us an indication of whether or not they possibly would be open to talking. You know, whether or not they just come up, maybe they'll say, "Hi, how's it going? Who are you?" Or maybe they'll start shooting you. You know, we need to know where that lies. So there's a risk there, but to me, that would be the natural next risky step to take before we start committing more. And that can be done before the time.
Potentially. But yeah, smart.
Yeah, you could. I mean, you would need to leave the mirror doorway open, and the twins would have to be ready to turn the mirror off and make sure that they can't come through behind. Because I mean, if they start shooting at you, you're gonna want a way to get out. and get
Yeah,
back.
it definitely would be we send you there, immediately reverse the mirror to a portal back,
Mm-hmm.
let you go outside. Unfortunately, it would also have to mean that Silas would have to go with you
Hmm.
because
Oh,
he's the
yeah.
only one who can see them to judge the reaction,
True.
and then make a beeline straight back for the mirror if they start shooting. Or the worst case scenario is that they don't start shooting and they just capture you. But anyway,
That would
because
be
at what
pretty
point are
bad.
you going to know that they're being hostile?
Great point.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, should we do that now?
I mean, we can.
The other problem to that is if we do this, they will know that we're coming through the mirror.
True. But
And if this goes badly in any sense of the form, even to that they're not hostile against us, but they just don't want us there, they could destroy the mirror.
yeah, I mean, the only reason we're going through that mirror is to basically meet up with them or investigate them. So,
I mean, I don't think that would be a bad thing if it happened.
Now, the other part that somebody's not going to like, but if this was to go down the route of possible non-hostility, we would need to form a dialogue between them,
Oh, crap.
which would require somebody that understands their language,
Oh, no.
Lawrence.
Uh,
So
now I
it would
understand what every
actually be
linguist has to
beneficial
do.
for you to be going along on that.
This is why they always have a scientist on those dangerous missions in the movies.
Wearing the red
Indeed.
shirts, yes.
Wait, what? No! I'm not red shirt. Do we have someone named Phil? Can we use him as the red shirt instead?
No, we need somebody that has the designation of what? Corporal number 37.
Oh.
Nightbane number 14. You're gonna get recruited for this mission. Aw, dang.
I just maybe want to play XCOM. Oh. Okay, fine. I understand. I get it. Totally makes sense. Not wrong.
Don't take the piece of metal.
Yeah, no, that's staying here. Oof. We should also make sure not to mention anything about having the piece of metal. That they don't need to know about that. If anything, we found them because of our friend's true sight.
And
Where
how
are
did
all
you learn
these
to speak their
orbs?
language?
I'm really smart.
Very smart. Very tech savvy.
That may not cut it for
Okay.
the lie, but you know what? That's what I'm going with.
Okay.
I play a lot of video games, so, I study a lot of made-up
Yeah.
languages. It's kind of, it's patterns. You just got to follow patterns.
We could tell them you're just naturally a prodigy at languages, but if they know any other languages and try to speak it to you to see if you can figure it out, that won't work. So
Yeah, I speak very, very limited amounts of
Klingon.
Yes, actually, well, he spews a Klingon phrase. He probably knows Klingon full on. I don't.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Lawrence probably does. A little Japanese too, but not fully.
But can you speak Klingon with a Japanese accent?
I want to see that. If any of you can do that, please.
Go to Tokyo. I'm sure you'll find. Okay, well, I would also suggest we rest a little bit and take some time. Let's do this like noon-ish.
Sure.
not go back right away.
We just
Wait.
want to get it done quick so that they
Shouldn't
don't
we
spend the time.
go before noon? Because it's noon when they do their thing.
That's a great point.
If we interrupt their thing, they might not be welcome to actually talking to people.
Good point. 10-ish?
That sounds good.
Going on 9-ish? No.
I
10-ish.
am 10-ish, going on 9-ish.
Okay, well, go get some rest. Something to eat.
Classic
Something
film.
to drink.
That's actually the first movie I ever bought.
Really? I still
Yeah.
have never seen it.
VHS.
Wow. That's another thing
Yeah.
the kids won't know today.
So, yeah.
Huh, yeah. I was trying to think if there was any format before VHS, but I guess that was just TV.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah. I don't think Laserdisc came out before VHS.
No.
I think they came out after VHS.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was something close to like a tape recording that didn't catch on that was before VHS, but that's something for the history buffs to figure out. Okay, rest time.
Sleepy sleep, honk shoe, honk shoe.
Sleepy sleep. And Ox, what are you doing?
I mean, I'll get some food items, and then I will sleep.
Okay. And that's a roll that's going to work. During your sleep, Ox, you don't want to say awaken. You find your place in a very now familiar setting. Not by your cabin, but in the enhanced nature-ish setting. Sitting by the campfire with the guy in who it has a name that I can never remember.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
That's what my note says their name is.
Oh, it's okay.
Yeah.
That's
It's got a
not what
long,
their name is.
complicated name. As
I think it was
as
a
Ox
complicated name, and
dies.
I just shortened it to okay. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
immediately,
definitely.
Okay.
Because I'm sure that why the name is Okamahaka,
I can see why I chose okay.
Yep.
but the first two letters are okay. So, okay, with okay sitting there beside the fire, and he goes, "You have some news?"
So, well, yeah, actually, we found, I don't know, a people group or a species. We're guessing not from this plane. They use heavier materials than we have, but they seem to be opposed to vampires, and they can make a ley line temporarily disappear, which is it's kind of wild, apparently. Yeah, we're gonna see if we can send an envoy to them. Maybe make friends. Anything on your end?
Oh. The reason I knew to ask is because Gaia sensed the ley line problems. we knew there was a ley line problem happening. We just couldn't figure out where, but with your presence being there as well, it helped us triangulate down to which ley line was having a problem.
Okay.
And we solved the draw. And you're right, that's a tremendous amount of draw to drain a ley line for a few seconds. You say that they're made of a metal that's of a higher density than from
Yeah.
here?
Yeah. It's heavier. Yeah.
So they're not from this dimension. You said planes, but
Yeah.
technically it's
Dimension.
dimensions. They're not from this dimension. They're from a higher order dimension, which, if you don't know, makes them very dangerous to you.
Yeah. Hmm.
It's kind of on the same scale of the way when you're a Nightbane, normal things can't hurt you.
Hmm.
And, normal damage doesn't hurt you. You can do whatever you feel like. And SDC damage done to a human will just flat out obliterate them. Well,
Hmm.
the same is true for them to you in Nightbane form. You would be very difficult to hurt them in any fashion, and their lightest taps would kill you.
That's the sense that I got as well. So I will
Tread
be one
carefully.
of the envoys, and I half expect not to return. So
Oh, we hope you return.
well, I appreciate that.
But
Okay.
As them being beings from another dimension and from a higher dimension, that does not, for what I can tell you, is it's just the same as beings from this dimension or any dimension. That doesn't mean they're bad. That doesn't mean they're good.
Hmm.
You're going to have to find that out on your own.
Yeah.
If they're good, bad, neutral, whatever. They could be anything. It's just there is a scale factor, and it probably explains why they're able to draw so much power too, because their power draw would be at the same scale factor.
Hmm.
So to them, what they did might not be such a huge draw. And back on their dimensional planets, maybe it wouldn't drain a ley line. Gaia's not happy about them draining this ley line, but it's just a temporary thing. But Gaia is definitely not happy about all the strangers that are showing up on Earth. There's just too much going on. Because this is now another faction. It's good that they're against vampires, as you say, but do you know if they're against Nightbane? Do you know if they're against humans? We don't know these things yet, do we?
No.
If they go against humans, that's going to be a problem.
Indeed. We won't have much weight to defend ourselves.
To a human, one of these creatures could walk by one fast and kill it.
Hmm.
Just so you know, Gaia is not the biggest fan of Nightbane. Gaia's children are humans. She has raised and taken care of humanity since the conception of humanity. The Nightbane, since she has no hand in the creation of Nightbane, it doesn't know what's causing the creation of Nightbane. They are outside of what she's comfortable with, but because they came from humans, she gives them leeway. You were human at one time before you became Nightbane.
Mm-hmm.
and Nightbane have not inherently proven themselves to be evil against humanity.
Yeah.
Maybe a little egotistical every now and then, posing as gods, but Gaia is also, just so you're aware, has had altercations with Nightbane in the past.
Does that affect what we've got going on?
No, it shouldn't.
Huh. Okay.
Gaia trusted a Nightbane once before, or have trusted many Nightbane before, and only one of them. I wouldn't say they became enemies. It's just they see things differently now,
Mm-hmm.
from their point of views to what Gaia's point of view is, and it causes some problems every now and then. It's not that Gaia is openly at war with the Nightbane or anything like that. It's just they disagree. So, just so you know. But we do appreciate this information and any other information you can gather. And we do feel that you definitely could become one of our trusted Nightbane.
Nice.
If you would like to pursue that, shall we say, path towards becoming better trusted with Gaia, if that appeals to you.
Well, I enjoy being trusted, so that seems good.
Okay. You don't know. Remember, you're in a dream world. Dream, anything can happen in a dream, so you don't actually understand how. But all of a sudden, he has an old earthen mug in his hand, and he goes, "Here, a gift from Gaia. Drink."
What is it, my guy?
A gift from Gaia.
Could you elaborate? I'm about to take drugs.
Drugs as in there's going to be some type of psychedelic effect? No. It's consider it a blessing from Gaia. It will help you in your struggles.
Is there some way that Ox can insight on this guy to see if this is going to be good for him?
Sure. Perception.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that
Worst
skill you've been
thing.
doing great at all night. This will be
I
the
rolled a
change.
3.
Oh no.
That's a 6.
6. I mean, you're not positive. He's definitely being sincere. He's not being shady. You haven't had any reason in the past. He saved you before. He's treating it as it is a gift, a blessing, an enhancement.
Okay, I will drink it.
It is the cleanest, purest water you've ever tasted.
Mm-hmm. well, isn't that
And
tasty? Do I get to keep the vase?
it's gone
Oh, shame.
after you drank. He goes, "We will talk to you later. I wish you luck with your endeavors when you find out more information."
Thanks, okay? I appreciate that. Talk to you later.
Talk to you later, Ox. And you go back to your regularly scheduled dreams, whatever those might be. squirrels, chestnuts, trees flowing in the wind.
Falling acorns.
Falling acorns.
It's a sign of age when the tree starts dropping its nuts.
Yep.
Okay.
So, yeah. I guess I'll wake up at some point.
You'll wake up getting ready to go on your mission. And you're going to notice a few things.
Okay.
A few miscellaneous minor detail changes to your character sheet. You can go ahead in Morphous form. You can add 10 to your PS, PP, and PE abilities.
Okay, wait. So wait, add that to my PP score.
Your PS goes from 34 to 44. Your PP goes from 20 to 30. Your PE goes from 25 to 35.
Oxby
Okay.
juicing.
Oh yeah. Totally legal.
Getting them steroids from Gaia.
Now I gotta figure out what these bonus changes are.
Yes, there's more.
Okay.
So before you go digging into that.
Okay, I want to just make it. Okay.
Your SDC increases by 100.
SDC. That's something. Which thing is that? Is it my health?
Yeah, your health.
Okay. Getting jacked.
And you don't know where you put it. There it is. Your FAR increases to 10.
Sweet. I forget what that stands for.
Flawless armor resistance.
Oh. Okay.
Somebody had to roll above a 4 to hit you before. Now they have to roll above a 10 to even hit you.
Okay.
Nice.
Great. That seems good where I'm going.
Solid boost.
And to think, I hesitated. No. Quote unquote.
Okay, so now I gotta pull up the sheets and change those bonusy fellas.
Now I'll let you do your little discovery and tune in next week to see what Super Saiyan Ox is going to do next. Thank you.
Huzzah.
Huzzah.
The end may have closed for now. We hope you met a friend this go around. Tired and blurry you may be. We hope your minds are full from this revelry. May peace follow you out. May you return for more giggles and shouts.